Hi all, I am back and I am going to feed off of the last video I did a few days ago. And that one was kind of like a mini reading. I gave a reading for everyone. And we used the focus card. This is from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck. And this really brought up some questions, but mostly comments. So what I want to do is I want to go back to that video and I'm going to read you the comments, things that people saw in this card, and what they gleaned from their own messages. I'm also going to take the major arcana from a traditional tarot deck that I use, and I think a lot of people use. It's the, oh, look at that, I picked the devil card right off the bat. So, which is all about, connections and addictions and different types of relationship card. I can't consider that kind of a relationship card, but anyway, this deck is the original Rider-Waite deck. And that's the deck that I have always, it's my go-to. I always go to that deck. There's something about it that's magical to me. When I first saw it, I was kind of taken back by it. I wasn't really too interested in it. Now we got justice. I wasn't really taken by it until I started to use it. And it's amazing how we were in a virtual class the other day, and somebody said something about, how the cards resonate with you. And for everybody, it's different. For me, I picked up this deck and I knew right away. So I have very few decks. I have 3 or 4. I think I have 6 now, actually, because I bought a couple recently to do specific things with. But I know people who have hundreds. So it's either something that you collect or not. But what I do know is that when I started using the Rider-Waite deck, I was very turned on by it. I've done a lot of work in the Akashic records for myself and through others. And through that, I realized that there's some lineage for me with this deck that was designed in the 15th century. So I think that's why it's so speaks to me. So I also feel like that's why I probably pronounce tarot different than most. Everybody has a different pronunciation for it, but that's another thing we joked about, but I say tarot. And when I try to look back in that, it's more of a European pronunciation. So I feel like there's something there that ties me to the original making of this deck. All right, so I'm going to read the comments from the last video for people who drew from the wizard, who drew something from this card for themselves. Talk a little bit about that. And at the same time, I'm going to give each of those people who commented a kind of a mini reading, and I'm going to use only, now we got the tower, lots of crazy stuff coming up here. So I'm going to give people a reading from just the major arcana. So for those of you who are not familiar, the major arcana, it's like a playing deck. Okay, the 15th century is a playing deck. People get nervous about it. They think it's weird stuff, but it's really not. I mean, it was designed as a playing deck. It's got the 4 suits, it's got the cups, the wands, the swords, and the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles. How could I forget that? Abundance, the coins. So it's got those 4 suits, and it's the 1 through 10, and then the page, the knight, the queen, the king. And then it's got the major arcana cards. Now we got the world. So these cards, the major arcana, are the ones that have the words. I'm going to get real simple with you guys here. It's the one with the words at the bottom and the numbers at the top. The Roman numerals. In our session that we had the other day, there was that question about, I got another Roman numerals, but that's one of those things. High math. So I'm going to shuffle these and I'm going to give cards drawings only from the major arcana in the Rider-Waite deck. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to use my whole deck. So let's start with the first person. Give me a second to pull this up. I'm technology challenged. I'm going back and forth. So I'm going to go from the newest comment And that was 2 days ago. Looks like Emily Emily L 7226 said, the first thing that came to me was that his hands seemed to be signaling stop. And I'll show you the card too. She said, I also noted the light coming from his hand. Writing about this made me feel I was being told to stop my current habits. Good job, Emily. Stop my current habits and listen to spirit and to practice consistently. Enough of sitting on the sidelines. I love that. Stop, take stock, figure out where you're going spiritually, participate, expand spiritually instead of just watching others be spiritual and looking to them for answers. I love this because I'm a firm believer that we all can read. We all connect with spirit. We all get our own messages. So I love that she's saying this because I think it's really, really important for us to stop and do this for ourselves too. Stop being the old me. And I had asked what 50 meant because the number on the bottom of the card is 50. So I had asked what 50 meant to people. And she said the 50 felt like half or halfway. Half or halfway. Let's get going. I just turned 60, she says. I interpreted other things in the card too, but this is just the first thing I noticed. I've always felt like I was behind in my purpose. Do you get anything about this? Okay, so let's go right into it then. I'm going to pick a card for her. Let's see what comes up for Emily 7226 or whatever her handle is there. Okay. Oh, beautiful. I love it. So this is the strength card. And so I would say, Emily, I'm going to call you Emily. Emily, what I see here for you and what I see, you said, do you get anything on this behind in her purpose? This is the strength card. The strength is just that she's taming the lion. So it's kind of like taming the wild side or putting things in check. If you notice the way she has her hands around the lion's mouth, it's like the yin and the yang. It's like putting the feminine and the masculine energy together. They're asking you to do that. She's also reassuring him. Okay. So if you look at the lion as her strength, then take that for yourself. Reassure yourself that you are strong enough to do that. I like to see this card because if you notice around her waist, there's this beautiful vine tied around her waist. It's almost like this is our center. Okay, that is our center. And if that center is balanced, it's full of this abundant, beautiful greenery, whatever that is, some kind of a vine with flowers and beautiful roses and such. So it's a very feminine way to accentuate the center, but also to keep it balanced, to hold it in place, to show the abundance where it's coming from. That's also kind of the solar plexus, which is also the place where we really find who we are, how we center ourselves, how we feel into ourselves. I love that she has the infinity sign. I'm doing the 8s. I do everything with circle 8s to move energy. So I'm saying move the energy. Spirit is saying move the energy. Sometimes I say I, but I mean they. Spirit is saying move the energy. Also saying that the infinity sign shows the infinite possibilities. And if you look at it, where it meets in the middle, we could consider that the halfway point. Okay, so it's very, very obvious that that's right over her higher self, her higher chakras. Bring that in more. So they're saying open, expand, allow more in, infinite possibilities. The number 8 is on the card. 8 is also the infinity sign. So they're saying do more with that. I would suggest that you do more energy work around you with the 8. So for me, 8 is like joining the right and the left hemisphere. You can do circle 8s around your eyes. Okay, you can do it with your arms all around your body to clear your energy. Okay, you can also do tapping your knees right and left. That's really good for moving the energy. And then I would suggest one last thing, and that is to perhaps check into Donna Eden Energy Medicine. Just Google her, YouTube her. She's got all kinds of YouTubes on 15-minute routines that include all of those types of things to balance the chakras, as well as moving the chi through your body. Because I feel like halfway point is the belly. Okay, so that's why they're showing us this balance here. You need to balance that a little bit more, and bring in the abundance when you find your center. Okay, that's for Emily. Let's see what else we have here. Sorry, my phone is dinging in between all of this. So Jez McCurry, we're just going to call her Jez, or him. I'm not sure, he or she. They say, like you, whose site I just discovered, I am being encouraged, internal from external, to step out and claim and explore with curiosity. This is what came. Oh, Wizard of the Woods, focus. Why was I drawn to the gaze of the wizard? The light in his hand. So she was also drawn to the light. I would have to say, without even pulling a card, Jez, that I feel like you're a light worker. I feel like you do things with your hands that are very creative. I feel like your hands have power. You know, sometimes we don't realize, and this is what's coming in, Spirit is giving me this, of course. Sometimes we don't realize the power of our hands. We use them for writing, we use them for sewing, we use them for cooking, we use them for driving, we use them for doing surgical procedures on people. We use our hands for things that are very powerful, but yet we don't realize the power that runs through them. So I would say check into that and really tap into your hands more. So rub your hands together, allow that, feel that energy moving through your hands, and then do some work kind of like Reiki on your body, and feel the difference that you open up your heart, open your throat. They're saying even do this and open here, land them by your ears. This is really good for focus. This is really good for calming the sympathetic nerve. This is good for, they're saying this is good for creative balance. So rub them. Start here and just go over the eyes and land on the ears and just leave it there for a minute. You can just feel it bringing the right and the left hemisphere together. Opening up creativity and expansion. This is not what I was planning on doing with these cards, but this is where it's going for you, Jez. And they're just saying, then, bring it back down over the throat and place it on the heart. Okay. Yep, that's the way they placed it for me. They say the gaze, you said in this card, the gaze holds the intensity of his intention. He leans into the towards the realization of his magic. Well, what we just did, because you have that magic too in your hands. What his magic? Why should I trust this? I'm going straight to there. Why should I trust this? And then the answer you got was, you trust this because it is already known within you. It does not come from an outside or separate source. I love this. The source resonates within, and when this vibrates with your understanding, then it is trustworthy. That says a lot. So I'd like you to go back and read your comment on this, Jez, because that says a lot. You also talk about experiencing this and waiting for the answer. You're talking about how that works through your body, channeled writing. So again, what I was talking about with the hands, the Spirit led me to this before I even got to your question. So definitely with the hands, automatic writing, this to open things up, to get the thoughts going from one side to the other. Feel the expansion between your hands. So this is not about the mind. This is about the third eye and opening up for channeling. You talk about the 50 feels unbalanced. I want you to go back and watch what I said about this card, this same card for the person before you, and the balance, the center, doing some work with that. Okay, and you said that you're trying the automatic writing exercises. That's awesome. You said, I tend to write with my eyes closed, then decipher. Not sure which is harder, reading my typing or my writing. I know, that's how it was for me in the beginning too. I do better with the typing because I've done that my whole life. I was always working in the medical field and I had to type a lot. So notes, you know, of people talking and stuff. So the more I close my eyes and work, I can do it very easily. So if it's with a written pen and that's easier for you, then do that, whichever you feel is best. I even know people who do it in shorthand. Okay, I don't even know if shorthand is still a thing anymore, but back in the day when I was in high school, I learned shorthand. So if you can do it in some kind of script that makes sense to you, then use that. Everybody is different. That's fabulous. I love it. And then she says, again, thanks for your feedback. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for you, Jez, because there's only a couple comments in here. I didn't realize that there was another one from you. You said, thank you for your feedback. Might you have any guidance on working with both and of humbleness and proclaiming what is received in the pudding? So she talked about the pudding in here. Yeah. What's in the middle? Yep. Okay. So I think I gave you a lot of tools right there, but I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for you. Let's see what we get. Again, I'm just pulling from the major arcana. And I'll talk a little bit about that after I pull this card for Jez. Judgment. So I'm glad this card came up because in tarot, the way I see it, I look for color. I look for what the people are doing. And then I wait till spirit gives me something. And the first thing I saw was color, the red wings. So that's the passion, that's the purpose, that's the high energy. If you look at the red wings, the center of the wings are more of a magenta color. So I do color therapy. I'm a Samasati color therapist. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about color in this card because that red really jumped out at me. And then we'll talk about the rest of the card. So the color red is kind of the outline. Red for me is about high energy. It's also about like passion. Like what you're passionate about, the things that you're passionate about, high energy. The inside of the wings, as I noticed it today, every day they look different to me and I always read different. But what I'm noticing today and what Spirit's giving me is the color magenta. Magenta is more of a higher power color. So I'm talking in the chakras up here where your higher self lives, and connecting with that higher power. You can do that through the writing. You know, I know you're investigating that more and trying to decipher it, but do that more through the writing is what they're saying. They're saying they want you to, oh gosh, there might even be a book in this for you. Because they're showing me a lot of power coming through your hands again. Okay. And they're showing it to me. It's like seeing the light. It's like using the light. Okay, so I use color light. I have an instrument that's a color light instrument that I use on my body to bring color in. They're asking that you bring magenta into the third eye color. Into the third eye, that color. So you can just rub your hands together and put it over, about inch off of your forehead and just envision the color magenta and bring that into the third eye. And take some deep breaths. And as I'm doing this, I feel an expansion going all the way from my third eye down past my throat and into my heart. It like settles right into my heart. So again, passion, bringing that up and down through there, the color of magenta from the third eye to the heart space. They're also showing me the bugle. Okay, so they're saying, it's time to toot your own horn. Yeah, that's exactly how they put it. It's time to toot your own horn. It's time to really cry it out, let it out. Let it be known. Let yourself be known. Enough of this, hiding behind the flag. Let yourself be known. And so there's, the flag. I don't know if this flag means something to you, but they're asking me to point it out. And not give you a definition about it. Have you either Google it, look it up, feel into it, see if this means something to you. I don't know if it's the cross or the colors or both, but something about this flag means something to you. They're also showing me the people. Okay, so when we see the people naked in tarot, the naked people mean new beginnings. That always means something new coming. The fact that all the people are gray, here's some of that color again. The gray color for me is about possibilities. It's like when the sun is meeting the horizon over the water and you see that gray mist. It's the new day coming. It's the new day coming. It's the new day, or it's the day ending. Okay, so it's a combination of both. It's the duality of the dark and the light. But it's also the area of possibility. It's the area of options. So they're saying your possibilities are open, your options are open. And then the word judgment, we can take that and use it in so many different ways. But when I see judgment for you, I don't see, judging people, being judgy. No, I don't see people judging you. I don't see that either. I see it as judgment, like passing the judgment, making the decision, going with it. It's time to make the decision. This is what they're saying. So I don't know if there's something that you're trying to decide, but it feels like that. It feels like there's time to make a decision about something to move you forward, something to put you in that place of passion and the higher self. And they keep telling me about this book. So there might be something about you doing some writing. I don't know if it's a book. I don't know if it's a script. I don't know if it's doing some writing in a magazine or writing articles or blogging or something, but doing some kind of writing. It could even be a Facebook page. It's just doing some writing and getting it out, toot your own horn. And remember that the area of possibilities and a brand new day. Okay. So I think that's all we got. I was hoping for a couple more comments. Maybe they'll come in on this video. And if they do, put them down in the comment section and I'll try to come back and answer them again on the next video. I do want to talk a little bit about these cards. And I just want to know, what is your, okay, so the Hangman is one that people freak out about too. And I just think he means he's stuck. That's it, just stuck. Okay. I don't know if people freak out about this one so much, but sometimes they do, depending on what their religious background is. Sometimes, it reminds you of a bishop or somebody in a Catholic. I was raised Catholic, so Catholic school means something to me, but it was like rules and regulations and restrictions and things you can and can't do, that kind of thing. I love my Catholic heritage, but it had some things about it when I was a child that was very restrictive. So I might see it that way. Okay. Justice. So I love justice because I'm a Libra. And so here's the, the scales. The scales are injustice. So it's all about being fair and equitable. It also, if you notice, he has a sword, and swords to me are all about taking action. There's a million things you can see in this. You could look at the colors. The green cape around his shoulders means that he's going through growth. The yellow background behind that purple veil, the yellow background is all about seeking clarity. So you see how we get things out of these cards. This is kind of a little bit of a lesson, I guess. And then the Chariot, he's protecting his kingdom. And in the front, you see the black and the white. So are you thinking of things too black and white? Now, this is kind of a reading for whoever's watching. Are you thinking of things in black or white? Are you reading between the lines? What are you guarding? Okay. Remember, anything that comes up, and I want to stop and say this, anything that comes up in here when I'm channeling this information is for whoever's listening. So I know that sounds crazy, but when we read cards, there's so much in it that can affect all of us. So if something resonates with you, take it. It's for you. Okay. Strength, we talked about already. This is a great card. I love this card because there's so much in it too. Taming the Lion. This one, the moon, it's all about the illusion. What do they really see in the moon? Do they see the moon? Do they see the sun? What are they really seeing? And the crawfish coming out of the water, getting ready to snap them. Okay. The Empress, love her, very maternal. If you look, there's a lot of feminine signs in here. There's actually the sign of the feminine. She's wearing roses. Roses to me are always feminine. She has that crown of stars. She's got the whole universe with her, and she's got her scepter. And all around her is wheat. Wheat is all about abundance. So that's the Empress. The Wheel of Fortune. Love the Wheel of Fortune because it's the spin of the wheel. So I always see it. That's kind of like that 50 thing. I kind of see it where it could go one way or it could go another. It could go either way. Spin the wheel. Lady Luck. This is also a card of higher knowledge. If you see them up at the top, they've all got books, and down here they're writing and books, and so it's a higher knowledge. There's all kinds of symbols, the snake transformation. This guy is supporting this compass. This guy is guarding it. And, the Sphinx and this other guy, I can't remember his name. Anyway, they all mean something too. So you can look that up and get more meaning out of that for you. The High Priestess, she's all knowing. She's got the tarot in her hands. And it's the scroll, it's the wisdom, it's the knowledge. She has the moon on her crown, yet she has a cross on her chest. And she has those pomegranate fruits in the back, which always to me is about abundance. And then there's the black and the white, seeing things again in duality. Okay. The Fool, I love the Fool. One of my favorites. He's a 0. So that to me is infinity also. It's that eternity, infinity. The Fool's getting ready to walk off the ledge, doesn't even have a care in the world about it, but he's holding a white flower, which to me is divinity. It's the connection with spirit. And he's got trust. He's got so much confidence and so much trust. All he's got on his back, all he's got is that stick with all his belongings in his bag. And the dog is trying to warn him. And he's just going right off the cliff. And you could call him the Fool, but really and truly, he's completely trusting in the divine. So I love that card. The Lovers. So I see the Lovers for two different things. I see the Lovers in a romantic relationship. And I also see the Lovers in partnership with others. It could be a business partnership. It could be a friendship. It could be some kind of family matters. And again, that beautiful angel with the red and magenta wings. Some say that's Raphael, Archangel Raphael. Some see it as Gabriel. Everybody sees it different. I see it as Raphael, the healer, bringing things together. There's a lot there too. And of course, they're naked in this card too. Not romantically, maybe, but it's really about revealing themselves in relationship. So Temperance has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the grass. And so, it's the trying to figure out where you want to be. Do you want to be in the illusion of things? Do you want to be in the reality of things? Are you grounded? Are you in the flow? The flow in the cups, going back and forth. When I see cups, I think communication. So that could have something to do with it. Again, it's the angel with the wings. In this card, I see more Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, and for communication. I also see that orange triangle on his chest or her chest, their chest, that orange triangle, which to me, orange is about focus. So focusing on the heart space. Orange is also about joy. So bringing in more joy. And then of course, the yellow daffodils to me always symbolize like new beginnings, and the sun in the back, also new beginnings. And when you look at this card, do you see the sun rising or do you see the sun setting? That also takes a different meaning for you in this reading at the end of that brown path. Okay. The emperor. He's guarded. He's got his armor, but he's all knowing and he's all in red. So passion, the drape around the cape, whatever around his shoulders to me is like a very, very deep purple, not purple, more magenta color. Again, the higher power, all knowledge. One side of the mountain is yellow behind him. The other side is brown, yellow for clarity, yellow for detox, getting clarity, getting cleansed. The brown is more for he's grounded in his truth. And of course, wisdom. So the world is just that. You've got the whole world in your hands when I see this. She's also naked. Once again, we got a lot of naked cards. She's also naked here. And for that, it means to me, revealing yourself and having a new day, going into something new. She's wrapped in a magenta scarf. So she's definitely tapped into her higher power. She's got the 2 candles burning at both ends. So she's working, doing, being all of the things. She's doing all the things. And then that beautiful circle around her with the infinity here and here. And you can look at more into the card with what's in the 4 corners and such. So whatever that means to you. The tower, I always see this as new beginnings. You've gotten past the chaos. It's been chaotic. It's been traumatic. There's been a lot of things happening, but yes, you're getting past that. You're finally getting past that. Or you can see it as when lightning strikes, things go chaotic. Okay. I don't see scariness in these cards. Sorry, but I mean, most people see it different. They go, oh, I don't want that card. I say it, boy, bring it on. Bring it on. It just means better things in the future. Then this one is the sun. And you can't say much more than that other than here comes the sun is what I heard. I heard Spirit say, here comes the sun. And the flowers in the picture, the baby with the flowers in the crown, and this little child is also naked again, which is the whole new beginnings. The big red flag is all about passion, high energy, and the white horse, of course, for me, white. When I see a white animal in here, it's all about the divine. And, the divine taking care of you, holding you, supporting you. Okay. The Hermit, my favorite card. I think it's my life path card. But anyway, the Hermit is about wisdom. He's holding up the light. He's shining the light. He's a light worker. He is knowledgeable. He is clear on his path. He is stopped in the ice. He's standing in the frozen ice. He's not stuck, he's stopped. And the reason why he's stopped is because of the reflection. He's taking time to reflect before he makes his next move. That the blue in the background, the light sky blue, to me is all about the energy that supports him. It's like a sky with no clouds. When they talk about clouds, so Spirit's saying they talk about clouds in a way that it's heavy and weighs you down and you've got that black cloud over your head and all of that. This is a very clear blue sky, which means that it's close to the heavens. It's close to the, closer to the divinity, the divine. Blue is a very calming color, but that light blue to me is all about relaxation, calm. The Hermit is in a good place. Okay. Oh, and he's all in gray, which again is all about possibilities and options. He's viewing these options. And then the Death card. People freak out with this one too. This one's a real freaky one. But if you look at it, it's like down here, there's somebody laying there. He's possibly on his way out. I don't know, but he's looking like this guy's either protecting him from the others or standing before him, like in honoring him. You've got this, bishop looking guy who's, giving him a blessing. In the background, you see that's from this back here, these pillars, and the sun is from the Moon card. Is it the Moon? Yeah. Anyway, where you see illusion. So they're saying that there's still an illusion in this card. And you see the children, this one's kind of looking away. This one's looking towards, like, it's almost like this one can fix things. This one's looking back at the past. So it's about moving forward into something else. The horse is going to the left. Now the horse is white again. So that's about divinity supporting you. The horse is going to the left. So that means that it's facing the future. I mean, facing the past, facing the things of the past. Again, the white up here in the flag, I'm going to leave that up to interpretation for you. What do you see when you see that? And the number is 13. 1 and 3, 13. Some people see 13 as a number that's scary, but I always think it's a good luck number. So that's just me. And the Devil. So this one shows some kind of bondage between the couples. And they're, they have but they could take these off. They just don't know they can. It's like an addiction kind of card is the way people see it. Being bound to something, being addicted by evils, whatever. But I really see it as that they have this so loosely around their neck. It kind of looks like my chain. They have it so loosely around their neck that they could remove it. They could remove it. She has grapes, which are bountiful. He has fire. He's probably stirring some things up for her. But they have the ability to remove this and move on. The Magician. I love the Magician. He's number 1, literally. He's the number 1. He also has the candle burning at both ends because he's got so much going on. He's got all the things. He's got every suit from the deck in front of him. So he's got the swords for action. He's got the cups for emotions and communication. He's got the pentacles back here for abundance, success, monetary things, career. He's got the wand, and the wand really just opens up his creation. That's what he creates from. That's what he does his magic from. So he's got everything he needs. He's also got all this abundance around him. Whenever I see these beautiful flowers and the lilies and all of it, each one of them could mean something different on any given day that I pull this card. But today it just shows abundance, and the Magician is abundant. So I'm going to leave you with that. This is the last of the Arcana cards. I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to tell you that we're all the magician in our own life. We all see things for ourselves. We all receive messages. I know there's been some talk about it in the comments, but we do. We all do, and we all have the capability of it. So open up, expand, do some exercise. If you want to grab some of these cards and play with them, I suggest that it's a good idea to do some writing and take notes about what you see. Just what do you see? Like even the yellow background in the Magician is important because he's got clarity. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to put comments in the bottom, not only about what we did today, but also about anything else that you want to ask about or question or situation that you're going through, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll get back to you on the next video. All right, thanks.